Good morning on this Tuesday morning. Another short week. We've had quite a few of these, it seems like, over the last month or so. And here we go once again. If you look back to Friday, we started the month of July, and that was a great thing to do because the month of June just was absolutely terrible. We had the worst month of, the hit that we took was absolutely unbelievable. And a lot of people were very, very frustrated by that, including myself. But it is what it is, and you've just got to trade the markets that we've got. But July did kick off pretty nicely on Friday. 1% move across the board. All the major indices moving to the upside. The Dow was up over 300 points. Everybody seemed pretty happy going into the 4th of July weekend. There's no doubt about that. But the price of crude just kind of keeps on slipping a little bit lower and a little bit lower. Not too terribly long ago, start of June, we were at 123. We actually finished June and into July right around 108. So it gives you an idea that we've seen that price coming down. Volatility did come down a little bit, obviously pricing in the weekend as well, but just a little bit over 26.5 or so. Volume a little bit light, but that's understandable. A lot of travel, a lot more driving than probably normal, just because there were so many delays and all the conversations about what was going on with the airplanes and the airports themselves and all the airlines with delays and cancellations and all of that. And another reason for the demand to go a little bit up a little bit when you're talking about the price of crude, because people were willing to say, you know what, I'm going to drive this instead. Nat gas started off the month of June actually above 9, finished well under 6. Gives you a little bit of an idea. This isn't just one area of the market. We've seen a lot of those commodities really start to come back significantly in the month of June. We'll see if that's something that's reflected for the spending power that we all are looking for all the time. 2-year, 10-year, still below 3, hanging around a little bit above that 2.8 area, but not a huge move. The biggest move of the day, really, that what really stood out for the day was this. We had a great market. Sectors were absolutely ripping to the upside. Every single sector was in the green. A powerful day, except for, and it's not its own sector, but except for when you break it down, you go to a subsector like the semiconductors, down about 4%, just a little bit under 4% on Friday. That was something that really did stand out. There's no doubt about that, especially when you're looking and you see everything else. Although you look at technology, of all of the major sectors, rather, that one was struggling a little bit. Matter of fact, up about 0.25%. So not a huge move for that either. So it just shows you that it wasn't just semiconductors, but we did have some movement there. When you look over at tech, Apple actually had a pretty good day along with Netflix, but not everybody had a great day. Industrials were pretty strong with names like Deere and especially Boeing. Boeing's had some decent days now here and there. That's been something pretty strong. Consumer discretionary, that was a great day. Today, not so great, but a great day on Friday, up about 2% almost. You're looking at Amazon. You're also looking at Tesla having a great day. Energy with Exxon and Chevron, that was something that stood out. Financials were also up almost 1.5%, led by JP Morgan, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, the usual suspects. Goldman Sachs, all having a great day. Staples as well. So it's really very, very broad. As a matter of fact, none of those sectors were up more than 2%, but the majority of every one of those sectors outside of technology up about 1%. So it gives you an idea that it really was a nice broad move to the upside that we were seeing. Others that were pretty strong, names like Lennar, we talked about some of those housing names, have had a little bit of a bump of late. Las Vegas Sands, DocuSign as well, having a pretty good day. Okta, Datadog, you get the idea. Some of those quote-unquote high flyers. Also, McDonald's, Disney, Walgreens actually participating. But again, when you look over at something like NVIDIA, or you look at Semi, or you look at KLAC 10 Core, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There was some serious pressure getting put on the semiconductor group. So one day in, now we're getting into it a little bit more, shortened week, everything else. And boy, did we have a monstrous turn. At one point in time, things looked like they were going to be pretty good coming out of the long weekend. And then as we got a little bit closer, but still in the pre-market, down about 400 points on the Dow, down about 150 on the NASDAQ, down about 50 points on the S&P. The S&P has continued that slide, as has the Dow, but actually seeing a little bit of an improvement on the NASDAQ right now. The NASDAQ down over 100 points still, but it's off of those lows, down about 115 points off of that, down 115 or 150 early, down as much as 200 points fairly early in the session as well. And then we started to see the technology names actually get a little bit better than where they were trading. Still pretty awful across the board, but still seeing something a little bit better than what it started off the day, as opposed to being down 600 points now for the Dow, a little bit more than that. Volatility approaching 30 pretty rapidly. Crude was around 105. Now it's below 104. So that's something that definitely stands out. 2-year, 10-year kind of easing back a little bit, but nothing very big. Materials really getting hammered early on. They were down about 3%. They've gotten even worse. They're down about 3.7% right before I came on here with you. Financials also down, but they were already down about 2.5%. I look at industrials down close to 2.5%. They're now down over 3%. It was energy, though. As this price of crude's getting slammed, energy was already down about 2%. It slid down. It's down 3.7%. So really giving up a lot there. That's part of what's contributing to the broader side of what we're seeing in terms of that pounding the markets are taking right now. Technology, as I said, it was down nearly 1.5% early on, down a little bit over 1% now, but there was a little bit of an improvement there. So that's definitely something that also stands out. So is there anything in positive territory? Yeah, absolutely there is. Dollar Tree is looking pretty good. Moderna's looking all right. Datadog. But I'll tell you what, it is a tough one to find a lot that's in the green right now, especially when you look at something like the Dow. It was very, very difficult to find much of anything. Matter of fact, I only saw one stock in the Dow 30 that actually was in positive territory, and that was flickering between green and red. Freeport-McMoRan getting a little pressure today, along with Ford. Some of those numbers coming out of Tesla, giving Tesla a shot to the downside as well. Boeing, look at the cruise ships. My goodness, they are absolutely getting hit again. Royal Caribbean, and then take a look at Carnival, take a look at Norwegian. They're all getting hit to the downside, along with Tesla, along with PayPal, along with the Dow, and Disney itself, again, getting hammered to the downside. So there certainly is a lot of activity. We'll see what the volumes look like as we get a little closer to noon and then throughout the rest of the trading session. I think John will be on the halftime report. I will not be today. In fact, I think the next time I'm on CNBC, I want to say is Wednesday at 5 o'clock for the Fast Money Show on the East Coast. So the one storyline of the day for me right now is Google. And that one stands out because of the fact that it's having another split. It split back in April 2014, having a 20-for-1 split this go around, and that's going to happen tonight. So that's something that'll be pretty interesting. And we had just had the Amazon split not too terribly long ago, and now here we've got Google as well. So something to keep an eye on, very close eye on. We're seeing some activity for sure today in some of these names. I'm actually seeing a lot of activity, actually in a bullish way, in Amazon, at least early on. By the way, tomorrow, after the market closed, it's AJ and myself. We're going to be getting together. It's going to be a real quick one for me. Then I'm going to pass it off to AJ, but I've got to do that 5 o'clock show. But I got to tell you, AJ does an amazing job. He's a guy that I tell you, all the people that the commentary I always get is, this guy is amazing. The way he charts things, the way he talks about the markets. He's got a great background, folks. You do not want to miss it. You need to sign up as soon as possible. Even if you can't watch it live, we're going to get that out to you. But the Option Oracle, he's going to show you the playbook on how to trade these swings that we are seeing right now. It's been a wild ride, but that doesn't mean it can't be profitable. And AJ's going to be out there trying to show you some of the ideas, at least. It doesn't always mean they all work perfectly, but he's going to show you his approach on the markets when we've got this wild time that we've got, and when you've got the kind of volatility that we're talking about. Close to 30 once again, so that's something pretty interesting, and everybody's always looking at that mark, actually looking up towards 32. And I'll tell you, if we get up there, then that's going to tell us that signals that the S&P should be moving at about a pace of about 2% per day, both up or down. So something to keep your eyes on is right now if you're looking at that volatility index. Next, I'm going to give you number one. I've got two unusuals. LAZR, 575 is where the stock is trading. Pretty interesting trade that we're seeing. 60,000, that's 6 with a 0, 60,000 puts being bought. The July 5.5 puts, actually 50,000 of those in a single print for 44 cents. So that's something to keep an eye on. Stock, as I say, trading right around 575. These are the 5.5 puts. So they're buying right on top of this. That one's something I would definitely keep an eye on. Ford. This is the second time in a few weeks where we've seen some monstrous put buying in Ford. We had some a while back. They were buying about 41,000 to the downside, looking for Ford to pull back a little bit more. Stock trading today about 1075. Letter F, 19,000 of this Friday's expiring July 8th, 10 and a half puts. Now that's pretty close to right where that stock is trading as well. So keep an eye on this one. They're 12 cents up to about 21 cents. If this stock ends up getting hammered more and more and more to the downside, that's when these puts really could kick in. But just understand, it's a very limited time frame. I'm Pete Najarian. It's going to be a wild ride. We already know it. We already have pushed around, down 400, down 600. We're looking at the NASDAQ that was down over 200 points. It's actually rallied back, only down about 115, 120 points. Going to be another wild ride. Look for that volatility index. Look at that VXN as well. Folks, have a great day of trading.